the NBA said that the award races are over, and these 8 games won't help players make their case to win an award. Everyone that is voting will only use player stats from the beginning of the season until March 11th, when the NBA season got suspended. So for you, who is your most valuable player, Rookie of the Year, and Defensive Player of the Year?
Well, let's go ahead and start with the MVP. My MVP, I know you might not like it, but I got Giannis Antetokounmpo. And let me explain my reasoning right here. Because as Giannis playing for the Bucks, he led that team to the most wins of any team before the suspension. They got 53 wins, and they won over 80% of their games. And Giannis, he only averaged 30 minutes a game because by that time the Bucks would usually blow out the other team, and because he only averaged 30 minutes a game, I don't think that's a correct assessment of him. So I'm gonna look at his per 36 minute stats. He in according to his per 36 minute stats, he averaged 35 points a game, 7 assists per game, and 16 rebounds per game, and 1 block a game, and 1 steal per game. Those are monster stats for anyone, averaging 35 points a game, 16 rebounds a game, and 7 assists per game. That's a near triple-double. And with 35 points and 16 rebounds, that's just a monster season. Now, first 36 stats don't mean that they would average that amount of stats in 36 minutes, but that's using the ratio off of what they're producing in the time that they're on the floor currently. And now, not only is he such a good individual player, he also helps the team so much, not only in wins. And let me show you some stats. The Bucks, they finished 6th in offensive rating, 1st in defensive rating, and 1st in net rating this past season. And offensive rating is the points that team scores per game. Defensive rating is the points that team allows the other team to score, their opposition to score per game. And net rating is the difference, which is offensive rating minus defensive rating, and shows how much a team wins or loses by per game. A positive net rating means that the team is beating opposition by that net rating amount of points. And a negative net rating means they're losing by that number. And this means that the Bucks, since they're 1st in net rating, they're beating other teams by the most points in the entire league. And the one reason I think that Giannis wins MVP over LeBron is because not only has he had a team success, it's his individual impact that's led to that team success and his individual success. And that's why he will be the most valuable player in the league this year.
Yeah, I agree with you that Giannis will win, but I think LeBron deserves it more. You look at how old he is and the production he's giving you at 35 years old. He almost put up the same averages from 3 or 4 years back, and he's 35 already, and he's averaging 26 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 10 assists, and almost 11 assists, leading the league in assists. So that just shows that LeBron still has it, and he can still be that great player. But I think Giannis will win it though, because he has had an amazing season this year, and he led the Bucks to 53 wins. So I think that Giannis will win the MVP. So who do you have for your Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year?
Well, Rookie of the Year, I'm going to have to go with the obvious, only because the awards only count for the season that we already had, not for the resumption. And that's Ja Morant. And like I said, had the NBA return counted for the awards, I would have picked Zion Williamson. But since it's only based off the season before it stopped, I got to pick Ja Morant. And he played great. He had 18 points per game, 7 assists per game, 4 rebounds per game, and 1 steal per game. That's pretty good, and I think that's pretty good for a rookie point guard to have 18 points per game and 7 assists per game. And he was almost an all-star in his rookie year, so that just shows how good he was. And I can't choose Zion over Ja because that would be disrespectful to the level of greatness that Ja has displayed. because Ja played triple the amount of games that Zion played. And because of that, I have to go with Ja, even though Zion had better stats.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, but the thing you said about Zion that it's these 8 games did count towards the NBA awards that you would pick Zion, and I don't agree with you there because he's only played in 19 games so far, and with these 8 games, he won't. John Morant has done. He's been efficient this entire year, and he's done it over a long period of time. And Zion Williamson has only been.
Yeah, but Zion, if Zion elevated the Pelicans and brought them to the playoffs, and the Grizzlies missed the playoffs, who would you vote for? Would you still vote for Ja?
Yes,
If the resumption counted?
Yes, because Ja has done it over almost. Well, if he's done it for 60 games, so he's proven that he can average almost 18 points and 7 assists per game every single game for about the season. And Zion Williamson, he's done that. He's put up amazing numbers, but you got to realize he only played 19 games and he probably faced, I don't know what teams he faced during those 19 games. So you don't know if it was I think it was some teams were below 500 because the Pelicans had a very easy remaining schedule after that after February or All-Star break. So I think because of that, Zion Williamson wouldn't win the award, and I would still vote Ja. But Ja is an amazing player, and he really helped this team. And I don't think many fans realize that or expected that the Grizzlies would make the playoffs this year. They thought that the Trailblazers would be in the playoffs, but the Ja Morant has really helped the other players like Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr., DeAnthony Melton. I could go on and on with all these young players, and I think that's why he deserves the award because he makes his teammates better when he's on the court. So
yeah, let me clarify real quick. I do think Ja Morant will win the award. I just think that if the restart had counted, Zion Williamson could be some competition to Ja.
yeah, so who do you think is the defensive player of the year?
Well, I'm actually going to go with the surprise candidate, and that is Anthony Davis. And he had a monster season on defense this past year. He's the only player to have 1.5 steals per game and 2.5 blocks per game this season. And not only, just like Giannis, how he had individual and team success, Anthony Davis transformed the defense of the Lakers, literally. Last year, they ranked 13th in defensive rating, so they were about league average. And now they're a top 3 defense, ranking 3rd in defensive rating this year. And that's with the roster for the Lakers not really changing, or the rotation not really changing for these Lakers. And that's just a testament to the transformation Anthony Davis made for these Lakers on defense. And that's why I think he'll win Defensive Player of the Year over people like Giannis and Rudy Gobert.
I don't really agree with you there on that point. I think that Giannis Antetokounmpo will win the Defensive Player of the Year, and I think it's because part of the reason is why because he has the best record in the league, and he leads the league in defensive win share and defensive PER, and those numbers are really important to a team, especially the Milwaukee Bucks, because they have Brook Lopez, and you add Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think he can win Defensive Player of the Year. I was looking at their stats, Anthony Davis' stats, but Anthony Davis I think Giannis is a little bit better on defense. It doesn't show on the in stats, but I think overall, if you see him on the court, you can see that Giannis Antetokounmpo has a defensive presence there because you can see by the defense league, he leads the league in defensive win share and defensive PER.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think realistically, I think Giannis will win the Defensive Player of the Year. And you're right. When you're looking at the eye test or actually watching the game, Giannis does have a greater defensive presence. But the thing I'm thinking of when thinking of Anthony Davis for defensive player is the fact that, like I said, he made such a transformation on that defense. I mean, last year they were average and now they're top 3. To make that difference for the Lakers this year, I think that's just incredible. And I think that's, along with the 1.5 steals and 2.5 blocks, I think that's especially the reason why he is a top 3 candidate, at least for winning Defensive Player of the Year.